Welcome to the Digital Maddie Show with your host and host Miithyl, a show made exclusively for solopreneurs, artists, and coaches who wants to build their business online. With 15 plus years of business experience, I cover topics on personal branding, content creation, and digital marketing on this show and invite many experts who share the same passion like mine. Today we have an amazing guest on our show. Let me introduce him first. So he is Suman. He is the co-founder and the CEO at Personal.ai, a new collaboration network that enables a creator's community to access a creator's time, knowledge, and creativity via their personal AI. A personal AI is a true digital extension of a creator trained on their own data and reflective of their unique voice. Combined with Web3 technology, Personal.ai is enabling a new creator economy by reimagining how people create, collaborate, and monetize their creativity. So let's quickly bring the creator himself. Hey Suman, hi.
Hey, hi.
Awesome. So thank you so much, Suman, for joining us today and request you to share your backstory with all of us.
Yeah, most certainly. I'm passionate about convergence of technologies, mostly in the space of solving human problems, I call it. For me, human problems are something that is super close to individuals and consumers on day-to-day basis. In my previous company, it was a technology for people who are blind and low vision, which is filling or augmenting the visual information that they otherwise miss with rich life descriptions around them for them to negotiate with the physical environment. At Personal.ai, it is about cognition. It is about your own capacity. Personal.ai is a digital version of your mind that we are building to augment yourself and scale yourself, not only to enhance your creativity, but also for other people. Generally, by background, I'm an engineer. Been passionate about building products. Done most of the technologies, if you will, but as well as got my business degree, and then more passionate about building companies lately and creating products and experiences for people.
That's awesome. Thank you, Suman, for sharing that. So, I'm super excited when it comes to Web3 and AI. That this gives me goosebumps, Suman. So, as per you, how AI can inspire and augment creativity, that is especially tapping into your past knowledge and experience, generating inspiration and a rough draft to overcome the dreaded blank page, because that's one thing that all creators go through, the task of filling the blank page. So over to you.
Yeah, so I mean, the idea of AI in Web3 is very simple, right? So Web3 is all about data ownership. Like even if you think about creators today, there is a certain like a surge of people moving from Web2 to Web3, and the fundamental core principle over there is now we get to own our data. Now, if you think about, okay, ownership of the data is great. Like, how do we extract the utility of the data? Because if you think about why platforms are so good, they're good because they aggregate the data and use AI to extract the utility associated with the data. So that's what AI in Web3 is all about. Like, how can we leverage the algorithms that data becomes the fundamental to enhance the utility to the individual, to the personal, individual instead of the platforms. So it's kind of how I would think about AI in Web3. Web3 is data ownership and AI is data utility, and the marriage is not surprising from my perspective. Now, in regards to the creativity itself, we do have a lot of AI technologies for the content creation, but if you like pause and flip the narrative around, how do we use AI technology to enhance your own creativity, your own knowledge, your own thought process, if you will, from the past history of everything that you have done that carries your style? That's different than what majority of the content tools that exist out there. So our goal is to train this algorithm to actually extend your or create like a digital version of your mind to further like spark your creativity, the things that you maybe have forgotten. Mix and match the ideas that may exist. Mix and match the ideas that you have in your own mind with the topics around the world, right? So I think our focus is more on the personal front, on the individual front, and really pushing the needle on augmenting your own digital mind. Yeah.
That's brilliant. That's actually brilliant. Thank you for coming up with that idea and creating such a beautiful platform.
Oh, thank you.
Most welcome. So Suman, one thing which since I also belong to the creator community and I'm doing content creation from past more than 12 years now, starting the
Wow.
journey 2012. So the one thing that I have seen that, we most content creators, we struggle with respect to creating a content which kind of creates an engagement with our target audience. So,
Mm-hmm.
and I read couple of, articles where AI is also, trying to bring a new flavor in the market that, like uh, it can help creating engagement. So as per you, Suman, how AI can create new interactive content that actually allows fan to go deeper and explore ideas and insights behind the content?
Yeah, and that's, I mean, you're hitting the nail in the head right now. So if you think about like engagement, right? Why do we want people to engage with us? We want people to engage with us because, we are providing certain value. You are likely creating content and bringing people together, and you are extending that reach and value to people. Now, if you think about some of the, existing platforms and existing methods that we have, we engage with content passively, right? So I'm listening to a podcast. I probably listen while I'm driving, and then, most probably I forget about it. And if I do try to remember some of the context associated with my day-to-day life, it's not easy enough to like simply go search and pick the right pieces of content inside a podcast or inside a blog. You will go again, like restart the searching mechanism. It's almost like redoing the whole process. So if you think about like engagement, most of the engagement likely will happen with you, Miithyl, because it is about you. It is about your time. It's about your original thoughts that you are likely bringing to your audience. So how can we, instead of thinking about passively consuming the content, actively interact with the thought leader, in this case, Miithyl, like you? So the whole premise of this personal AI is it basically combines, brings all the knowledge that you ever had in the past 12 years of generating new content and then put them in an algorithm such that people can now interact with the content, with your digital mind, with all your knowledge and past experiences, rather than simply or passively, consuming or not consuming the information. Because today's internet, we know how hard is it to even like try to grab attention, because platforms are majorly driving engagement to the platforms, not necessarily engagement to the individual. So our goal is just that you have this personal AI, you create your mind, people can now interact with it. Think about it as like simply messaging your personal AI, but that is true to your thoughts, your voice. And as it learns more about you in your life, it becomes more and more personal to you. And you own the data. Of course, you own the model itself. And the idea of monetization, like, there are people who will cost you $500, $1,000 an hour to get like coaching, consulting, just run some ideas by. But what if, I can rent somebody's AI, such as Ventham's AI or Miithyl AI, for an hour, or even like for a few days, to actually engage with the content and interact with it and run ideas and thoughts by them. So it's kind of like where we are going with personal AI. And then you can technically think about these communities as, okay, we have Reddit communities, we have Twitter communities, and you follow each other and we are constantly engaging with it. Now imagine a launch or a channel, if you will, very similar to Slack or Discord channels that you have, which constantly require like your time. But now with your launch with few personal AIs or your own personal AI actually interacting with people, that scales your time because it's so authentic to you and your knowledge, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. So, so this is like making things very easy, convenient for even the creators to create content and even for the target audience to resonate with the content. Lovely. So,
Exactly.
so
So it's
Suman,
so
with this particular concept which you have introduced, then I think there is a possibility, of actually creating a connect between the
mm-hmm,
fan and the creator. So how does
mm-hmm.
AI will able to enable this, like infinite possibilities of connection with the
Yeah,
fans, and maybe a new form of interaction? It can be ask me anything with the creator, or
yep.
maybe a digital community, because community is a big thing which is there now, and almost every guru is speaking about the same. So what are your thoughts on that, Suman?
Yeah, no, it's a good question. Think about this one, right? So you mentioned about personal brand is one of your topics that you kind of mentioned. Personal brand is important because it's about connection, it's about human, it's about authenticity, it's about truly reflecting your own thoughts to the people. And most content creators or most creators, that's what they want to do. So the way we think about personal AI is to enhance their own personal brand. And for that to happen, the idea of trust with your AI is your own trust with your own AI. In other words, like if I'm talking to Miithyl and Miithyl trusts your own personal AI, by virtue of it, the fan would carry that level of trust as well. So every response that like Mitchell's AI gives me, for example, carries what we call a AI personal score or a trust score, which essentially like determines how personal the response that has been generated, that is trained entirely from your own mind, your own knowledge, is likely to sound like you. So it has a transfer of the style, it has a transfer of knowledge, it has a transfer of voice, and it has a transparency, to the fan, to you, and how does it sound like me, So I think that is important. That is important in terms of establishing that connection, because the connection is not with creator and AI, or fan and AI. Actually, the connection is between fan and the creator. And AI is simply a means to enhance that connection or scale that connection, if you will.
So this concept actually goes much deeper, and if executed in the right way, I think the creator as well as the fan will be able to get a lot of benefits. I am super excited for this project. I was just going through your website, and yeah, yes, this can be the future. If creators can get an opportunity to connect with their fans and also to monetize their content, I think it's done deal.
Yeah, sorry. That's exactly where we are headed to. I think our focus currently is on thought leaders. Although we do imagine personal AIs, like everybody 10 years from now should be carrying their own personal AI in their pockets, right? It's not just about phone and a bunch of apps. It's probably a device or a wearable that is even closer to you with your own AI. And it's almost, people people talk about like super apps, right? I mean, the idea of the super app is what? Is probably like all of them combined into one thing. But again, the super app are still probably solving or focusing on the platform side of things. Like how can you flip that around and the idea of super app of you, which is your personal AI. So we imagine like personal AI in pockets of everybody, and that's kind of what our ultimate goal and vision is. However, to begin with, the idea of the thought leaders is their problem is true because they are constantly trying to put strategies, business, thought leadership on specific areas. It could be anywhere from political issues to bias issues to societal anxiety to knowledge to Web3 to AI, right? I mean, you name it. Like everybody has core specific areas for their skill sets, and these thought leaders, they are in the business already of like pushing the truth to their audience in a more authentic manner, because the relationship is not platform to audience. So the relationship in here is like individual to their fans, and that's what we want to kind of elevate it. So I mean, thought leaders, you said you have like existing content from like 12 years or so. You can technically start hopping on the platform, push all your historical feeds of information. You can also have continuous feeds of information such as your tweets, your podcasts, your content, your blogs. And this AI almost trains every day, right? It's not like a model and then be there and done with it. It actually has a time decay component of keeping track of your memories, your knowledge that kind of develops over a period of time, meaning what you think about, let's say, content creation 10 years ago may be dramatically different than how you think about content creation today. And it has that sense of like time decay on how you think about it. So I think our thing is this personal AI is a digital asset of people, of themselves, that they own, that you basically transfer the ownership to your family, in the future. It kind of lives in the cloud forever. So it's kind of our motivation. So 10, 100 years from now, okay, it's too far out, but 100 years from now, you can think about like understanding how the humanity is from a individual perspective, not from a like an aggregated view of like, one single person or one single author or one single platform.
That's really awesome, Suman. So with this, we come to the end of the first phase of the interview. And now let's begin the second phase. And second phase is all about rapid fire round. So I'm going to ask you 5 questions, a little fun
Okay.
element. So I'm not going to give you time to think. So whatever the first thing comes in your mind, feel free to share. So are you ready?
Okay. Sure. Let's do it.
Awesome. So let me make it a little bit intense. Let's zoom in a bit. Awesome. All right. So we go with the very first question, Suman. So what is the first thing you would like to add in your bucket list in 2022?
Go to Hawaii.
Wow. Lovely. That's cool. Who do you admire the most?
Sheryl Sandberg.
All right. Describe yourself in 3 words.
Authentic, passionate, friendly.
Very good. Who's your favorite superhero and why?
Spider-Man, because he gets to jump around everywhere.
Super cool. And if a movie was supposed to be made on your life, what genre would it be and who would play your role?
Tom Cruise, totally.
That's nice. That's nice. Lovely. So I think this was the fastest, rapid fire round that I ever had on this season. So thank you, Suman, for participating in this. And I can see that, you truly enjoyed this.
Oh yeah, I totally enjoy it.
Awesome. All right. So Suman, all the people who are listening to this particular, episode, if they want to connect with you and know about more about Personal.ai, how can they do that?
Personal.ai is easy, Personal.ai. But myself, I am on Twitter at Suman Kanuganti. You can also go to Suman.ai, which will be very live very soon. So you can also talk to my AI on metaverse.personal.ai. But otherwise, yeah, the easy thing to remember is Personal.ai. Create, connect. I'm always on the channels everywhere.
Awesome. That's really cool. So Suman, before we end this particular episode, what is the one message you would like to give to all our listeners?
Oh, wow. You mentioned your listeners are coaches, artists, personal brand people. I would say, there is no better time than like this idea of like converging technology with, benefit to the people, to the consumers, to the individuals, specifically when we're talking about AI, which traditionally has been like very focused on business efficiencies. I think it's time for us to flip that equation and bring that goodness to people. So if you are a coach and if you're trying to give your mind and yourself to other people, then start building your personal AI. If you're an artist and creator, dig deeper into yourself with your own ideas and thoughts. So the idea of scaling your time and scaling yourself is here. So all I can say is early stages of the company, please join us and help us out and give us any feedback.
Awesome. So thank you so much, Suman, and strong recommendation, everyone. Do join Personal.ai, create your own AI. And if you're a content creator, since you are a solopreneur artist or a coaches, definitely you also wear the hat of a content creator. So definitely this is a platform to be in. And the links are all available below in the description. Do check it out. Do check out the website and connect with Suman again. He's an awesome guy. So thank you so much, Suman, for taking your lovely time and giving us a little glimpse of what is a Web3 all about as from the world of content creator. Thank you so much.
Sure. Thank you, Miithyl. Nice chatting.
Awesome. So you have just listened to the Digital Maddie Show with your host and host Miithyl. Thank you so much for listening to our show and giving so much love. Don't forget to subscribe to our show on the podcast platform that you are listening to. This is Miithyl with Suman signing off at the moment. Until next time, meet you soon with another guest and their exciting stories. But until then, keep rocking, stay safe, and don't forget to